Okay guys, we are going to learn about reciprocals and using those reciprocals to divide fractions. So first, let's talk about reciprocals. Reciprocals are the inverse or the opposite fractions, the opposite version of a fraction. So let's look here, we have 1/5. The opposite of 1/5 or the reciprocal of 1/5 is 5. Because 5 is over an imaginary 1, and if we do 1 times 5, that gives us 5, and if we do 5 times 1, that gives us 5, and we know that any number over itself equals 1. So the reciprocal, the opposite, inverse of 1/5 is 5. Okay, let's look at 2 and 1/3. So in order to find its reciprocal, we have to turn this mixed number back into an improper fraction. And we learned that earlier back in chapter 4. So remember, to turn a mixed number into an improper fraction, we do 2, the whole number, times the denominator plus the numerator. So we'll have 2 times 3 plus 1, which equals 6 plus 1, which is 7. So this is my new numerator. So now I have 7/3. What do you think the reciprocal of 7/3 is? Right, it is 3/7. It is just flipped upside down. Okay, because 7 times 3 is 21, and 3 times 7 is 21, which we know, again, any number over itself is 1. So the reciprocal is 3/7. So let's look at the reciprocal of 2/3. What do you think the reciprocal of 2/3 is? Write it down. If you wrote down 3/2, you are correct. This reciprocal. All right. All right, so now let's put those new reciprocal skills into use and divide some fractions. So in order to divide fractions, you actually multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second fraction. So I have 5. Remember, 5 whole numbers are over a 1, imaginary 1. So the reciprocal, the opposite, is 1/5. Okay? So now that I have my reciprocals, now I just multiply. And we multiply across the top and across the bottom. So this would give me 4/25. Okay, so let's look at the second one. We have 3/4 divided by 1/2. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the reciprocal of 1/2. Which I just flip it over, and it becomes 2/1. And then I have 3/4. So before I multiply, I want to simplify. I see that I have a 2 and a 4, which are both divisible by 2. So this becomes a 1, and this becomes a 2. Right, because I did 4 divided by 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So now I have 3 times 1 equals 3, and 2 times 1 equals 2. Okay, so if you didn't notice, 3/2 is an improper fraction because the numerator 3 is larger than our denominator of 2. So I have to turn it into a mixed number. I have to turn this improper fraction into a mixed number. So 3/2 is the same as 3 divided by 2. 2 will go into 3 one time with 1 left over. Now remember, this is my whole number. This is my top number or my numerator. So now I have 1 and 1/2. Your denominator stays the same. All right, guys, in this last example, we have two mixed numbers divided by each other. So I have 2 2/3 divided by 1 1/6. Before I can divide these fractions and find the reciprocal, I have to change the mixed numbers into improper fractions. So remember, that's 2, the whole number times the denominator plus the numerator. So I'll have 2 times 3 plus 2. So I'll have 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2, which equals 8. So now I have 8/3 divided by, remember I have whole number times the denominator plus the numerator. 1 times 6 plus 1. So I have 6 plus 1, which equals 7. So I have 8/3 divided by 7/6. So now, the next step to divide 8/3 by 7/6 is to find the reciprocal of 7/6. Write down what you think the reciprocal of 7/6 is. All right, good. If you put down 6/7, you got the reciprocal right. Now we just multiply times our 8/3. All right. And then we have 8 times 6, which is what? 4, let's see, 8 times 5 is 40, 46. I'm sorry, 48. And then over 21. Okay. So if you realize that this is an improper fraction, you are correct. Oh man. You know what? I got to back up. I got to back it up because I forgot to simplify. Do you see something that we can simplify in these fractions? Can we do the 8? So we cross. So 8 and 7 and 6 and 3. 6 and 3. I didn't even see it. I moved right past. So I can simplify because 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 6 two times. There we go. Now we have 8 times 2 is 16. 1 times 7 is 7. Caught my own mistake. All right, so we still have the improper fraction because our top number, 16, is larger than our numerator. So I'm going to do 16 divided by 7 equals what? So I know that 7 times 2 is 14, so I'm going to start there. And I have 2 left over. So remember, this is my new whole number. And this is my new top number. My new denominator stays the same. So I have 2 and 2/7. And that's how you find the reciprocal to divide fractions.